afternoon and welcome to Omnibroslive, where we are bros and we are live on a Sunday. We have with us today a Week in Geekdom's Geo. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Happy to be here. Happy to be with you guys and everybody in the chat and everybody at home. Just happy overall.
You always seem happy overall to me, Geo. What's the secret?
I don't know. I try to be happy so when the bad stuff happens, it doesn't affect me as much.
Are you on any medication of any kind?
Friendship.
Fuck. Friendship.
I need a prescription of that.
That's not a medication. I want the pills you're on. And we have a new guest. His name is Black Knight is Lame.
Wow.
Not holding his cards at all. He's laying it all out there. Black Knight, how's it going?
What's going on, everybody? This is the stupidest character to ever get a movie appearance. He's worse than Ant-Man, Darkhawk, Pharaoh Lad, and Hawkeye.
Whoa. Don't throw Pharaoh Lad in there. He gave his life to save the Legion of Superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
And since this is close to being on time for Comics Guide 101. He's only a minute late, so I'm going to give it to him.
Yeah, I was just wrapping up editing a video.
No, you were waiting till it was 1 minute late so you could pimp me out.
Maybe the world will never know.
No, Jess knows. I already know. But Gio, let me ask you a question. Let's see if you know the answer to this.
Okay.
These are cup hooks.
Ooh.
What did I get these cup hooks for?
Either a Spider-Man figure or the Legion of Superheroes.
Ooh.
I can't accept two answers. You need to narrow it down to one.
Come on,
Legion
Gene.
of Superheroes.
You are correct, sir.
Woohoo! What do I win?
My friendship, since you seem to value it so highly.
Awesome. I'll take it.
Very good job. Yes, one of them came in. I'll show it in my haul tomorrow, and I have a couple more coming in.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yes, I got cup hooks today at Staples, and because I needed bubble wrap, and I looked at the line and I thought, note to self, don't ever come to Staples on a weekend before school, back to school.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
But they had 3 cash registers, so I was in that and out that line in 2 seconds.
That sounds almost as bad as going to a grocery store on the weekend where it's the 1st of the month and the 3rd of the month.
Yeah, I remember you do have a thing about that. I remember that. Now, actually, here's a good question from Craig Baz. What's up? What's up? Question for the chat. He got a $50 gift certificate to Cheap Graphic Novels. What should I get from Cheap Graphic Novels and good recent reads? ETL already answered it. He said Mr. and Mrs. X, which I totally agree with. Mr. and Mrs. X is good. But do we have any other questions? Craig Baz, maybe you could tell us what you kind of like. Do you like X-Men, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, DC, Marvel?
Yeah, do you like crime? Do you like superheroes? Do you like westerns? Do you like, give us a little more detail if you can kind of narrow it down for you. I'm going to tell you, you go get Green Lantern, and you're like, Green Lantern is terrible. Green Lantern killed my dog.
Yeah, try to give us an idea of what kind of flavor of comics you like, and maybe we can help you a little bit more. Because we love answering questions and helping people into really good comic books. But ETL is exactly right. If you're an X-Men fan, Mr. and Mrs. X is top of the line right now. So yeah. Yes. Okay, good. Oh, hey, let's take a moment to talk about who keeps us on the air, where we can get those collected editions. That, of course, is InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add another 2% to that. There's always an Omnibroslive discount code every quarter. If you are ordering $50 or more in an order, you get free shipping. That's amazing. Fabulous customer service. Fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. Yes, In Stock Trades. You know them. We love them. They tolerate us.
That should be on a t-shirt.
That should be on a t-shirt. I know Emily. So, how's everybody doing today?
I'm sick.
You're sick?
I'm sick. Yeah.
Oh,
With a cold?
Yeah, I had diarrhea. For the
Okay, wait, stop right there. Stop. Okay, everybody else, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Doing well, thank you. Drinking water.
Okay, good. Okay, let's move on to the next topic.
If this is Oregon Trail, I would have died.
Oregon Trail.
I remember that game.
Yep.
Dysentery.
Let's see. Just check out Grumble. It's got a talking dog. Okay, Craig Baz, mostly X-Men and Deadpool he likes. Well, okay, good. Mr. and Mrs. X then, as ETL said, there's 3 books. First one's called Rogue and Gambit. Then 1 and 2 of Mr. and Mrs. X. If you like Deadpool, you probably already got World's Greatest and Despicable Deadpool and things like that. I can highly recommend X-Men, both volumes of X-Men Red.
Well, Rogue and Gambit or Mr. and Mrs. X actually has Deadpool in it. He plays a pretty
That
big
is
role.
true.
Yeah.
Kelly Thompson has a really good voice for Deadpool, and isn't she writing the new Deadpool?
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah.
That's coming up like November, I think.
Right. Okay, so he likes X-Men and Deadpool.
I mean, get those Deadpool classics if you haven't already. That Joe Kelly stuff is the best Deadpool that's out there.
Is that still in print?
Maybe.
I don't think it is.
No, I'm pretty sure it is. I ordered a bunch recently.
Oh, did you? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, Joe
At least
Kelly
the first few.
Deadpool's
The
great.
first few, yeah.
Yeah, Joe Kelly Deadpool.
Yeah, Joe Kelly's a real the Deadpool that everybody loves is basically because of Joe Kelly and Fabian Nicieza. It really came in fruition with that Joe Kelly Ed McGuinness run.
But Rob Liefeld will let you know he is the creator of Deadpool every single time you ask him.
Even if you don't ask.
Yeah, even if you don't ask. He's like, Todd McFarlane's kind of the same way. Hi, I'm Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn.
That's his full name. Exactly.
I
Pretty
have,
sure it's on a
Craig
baseball
Bass
team.
says I have the new X-Men traits, but just might upgrade to the Omni. New X-Men is a great series. One of the first Omnis I ever got. It's awesome. Question for the panel. Okay, let's put it up. How do you guys feel about She-Hulk and Moon Knight getting their own series on the Disney streaming service? Okay, I can sum up my feelings in 2 words. Woohoo!
Yeah, we were going to talk about all this already, so I'm glad to see that we're getting questions on it already.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm pumped for She-Hulk. I'm definitely pumped for Moon Knight. I want to see how they're going to portray Moon Knight with his multiple personalities or craziness or whatever kind of weird thing that's going on with Moon Knight. I would love to see him. I can't wait to see him get his starring role. We got Moon Knight, we got She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel. It was a great weekend at D23 for these announcements. Maybe we'll get more today. So
Yeah, we are going to be talking about D23 a lot today in the news.
I think these are characters people have been asking for Moon Knight for a long time.
Ever since the Netflix stuff first started with Daredevil, people were like, when is Moon Knight getting a show? Moon Knight should get a show. There were so many clickbait videos on YouTube about Moon Knight is getting a... Finally, he's getting a show, so you can all of you can shut up now.
All those people who made those videos 5 years ago, guess what? Took you 5 years, bro. You were finally right.
You are now justified. Congratulations. Dude, I get a Moon Knight question at least once a week. People ask me, when are you going to do a Moon Knight video? Like, I haven't read almost anything about Moon Knight.
And then
here's another.
But like that first appearance of Moon Knight has been blowing up for years at Werewolf 32. Oh, forget it. That's unobtainable right now.
It is. Go on.
A 9.0 is probably kicking around $3,000 right now, which is
damn.
Wow,
crazy.
Very happy about that. Here's another.
Yeah, your comic advisor. There you go.
Yeah, my comic advisor right there. Black Knight is lame. Thank you, buddy.
Lame. That's another thing. His first appearance is blowing up too. Good thing we had one at the store, and I marked the shit out of it.
Black Knight is lame, but Gabe Bustamontes is right.
That's right.
Here's another Moon Knight character. I actually have a story question, but I actually have an answer to it. Guys, what is the best Moon Knight story in your opinion? Yeah, I agree. I think the Ellis, even though it's only 6 stories, is still brilliant. I have a lot of Moon Knight in my collection, and I still love that Ellis one a lot. I still need to read the Lemire run. That's a big, thick chunk, but I need to read that, and I'm sure it's great. But that Ellis one just ripped every single issue.
I hope they do that Ellis run just because I just love that costume design so much better than the cape and that kind of stuff. But if you want some good Moon Knight stuff, these epic collections, the Bill Sienkiewicz the Doug Munch stuff. This stuff is really, really good. This is top-notch stuff. This is early Bill Sienkiewicz stuff. A lot of this stuff was originally printed in the old Hulk magazines back in the day, the Rampaging Hulk. But this stuff is really good. You'll get a really good, solid idea of the character in these 2 epics. I think, unfortunately, one of these might be out of print. But I think Marvel's pretty good about getting these things back into print. It might take a while, but they're usually pretty good about getting these things back in print, especially now with the TV show announcement. I'm sure there might be something going on with that. So these are excellent. These are excellent reads here. And my favorite, and this is 1,000,000,000% biased, is the Stephen Platt stuff. Because Stephen Platt his art is out of control, amazing, and gorgeous. So this stuff is great too. This is the end of the original Moon Knight run.
Is that collected?
It's not collected.
Oh, it's not.
It's not. But if you want this cool ass art, then you're good to go with this stuff too. And like you guys said, that Ellis stuff Ellis is great about reimagining characters. Like he is well known for that. He does an excellent job of doing that kind of stuff. And that Moon Knight was top notch. That needs to get that doesn't have any collections, right? I think it might be maybe a trade or 2, maybe, but there's definitely not a hardcover.
Here's a good question: where do we start reading Moon Knight? Bendis or Lemire? I personally think the Houston run is a good way to start.
Oh yeah, the David Finch stuff on there.
Yeah, the Houston run. I would read it. The hardcovers are way out of print, but you can read it on Marvel Unlimited, and I think it's pretty reader friendly. I haven't read Lemire, so I can't say. Bendis is new reader friendly. I would have to read Lemire. Now that Moon Knight, we're probably going to be getting nothing but Moon Knight questions now, so I better read Lemire. I better read Lemire so I know my stuff.
All right, but we got a Moon Knight marathon going on. I like that.
I'm gonna have to start reading Moon Knight this week.
But I'll say this: it doesn't really matter where you start because just the basic idea of who Moon Knight is and his multiple personalities. Every series is basically almost like a reboot because he has multiple personalities, and there's really, if you think trying to figure out the timeline and chronological stories for like Legion of Superheroes is crazy. Moon Knight is even worse. So it really doesn't matter where you start. I would just go with what creators that you might be familiar with. Like I said, those epic collections are perfect. Bendis is perfect. Lemire is probably perfect. I read the Lemire stuff, and the Ella stuff is perfect. It doesn't really matter. There is no like you read this and you go here, and you go here, you go here. They're basically all one and done kind of series. So,
oh yeah, Bendis wrote a good. He did write a good Moon Knight.
Yeah, that was good stuff. That's when I don't want to spoil it, but there's some really weird twisted psychological stuff with Moon Knight's character in that one.
Yeah, that is one thing about Moon Knight. He has a lot of psychological stuff going on with him because he has multiple personalities.
But does he? Is it multiple personalities? Is he just really just awkward kind of guy that just he wants to be an explorer? He wants to be a philanthropist? He wants to be a taxi cab driver or Uber driver now? Who knows? But the guy's all over the place, and his books are all over the place. So there really is no pinpoint square one for Moon Knight. This tea is amazing. This is my sick cup. I only drink this when I'm sick, and I love it. Amazing Spider-Man. Boom. I'm excited. You know what I'm really excited about is that we get to eventually have Moon Knight T-shirts and Moon Knight, like more Moon Knight toys and merchandise and a Moon Knight hat. Probably even get like a Moon Knight gimp mask. That'd be cool.
I'll take a Moon Knight fanny pack.
Maybe some workout pants.
There's Spider Eye.
It'll have on the back, the butt of the workout pants, it'll have on one cheek, it'll say Moon Knight, and the other cheek will have the moon.
And you have to wear it half off your butt because you're kind of mooning everybody.
There you go. It'll be a crop bottom.
It'd be like one of
those crop bottoms.
It'd be like those pajama pants where they have the two buttons on the back with the flap.
I'll take that too. Yeah.
Maybe some footy pajamas.
Let's see. We talked. Hayden McGee's asking about good. We talked about Moon Knight. Now she's asking about She-Hulk runs. So, I personally, myself, I like the Dan Slott She-Hulk runs. Mm-hmm. I can recommend the Dan Slott She-Hulk runs. I haven't read the Charles Soule She-Hulk runs, but I think I heard good things about them.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. If you like slots, Soule pretty much does the exact same thing, but Soule is an actual lawyer. He's an actual attorney, so it gives that view on that whole world with an actual, his knowledge behind it, and it has a lot of her and Daredevil that he would work on after. Kind of going head to head. So that I definitely recommend. It's got its own complete collection, it's only 12 issues. So I recommend that one too. And I think, Jess, that you had read the one that follows that, the Mariko Tamaki run.
Yes, I like that too. But I don't know how new reader friendly that is. I think I'd get familiar with the character before I went into the Tamaki stuff.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion. I think I'd read either Slott or the Soul run and get grounded in some She-Hulk stuff first.
She was
also the Slott and Soul stuff is good. She's also was it Mighty Avenger she was in for a little bit? That was really good.
I know she was in she was in a lot of Avengers teams. She might have been in Mighty, but I know that she's in the current one, and she was also part of A-Force.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's good stuff too. That was really fun.
If you want to go back, she was also a huge part of Byrne's run on the
podcast. Byrne rewrote her.
Her on Fantastic Four.
She took the place of the Thing whenever the Thing left the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
And then that was also Byrne wrote her solo series for a chunk of time, and that's the one that's getting an omnibus coming out pretty soon.
Are you getting that? He said, knowing that you were getting that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you were getting that.
Jen is one of my low-key one of my favorite characters in the Marvel universe. So yeah, definitely, without a doubt, I'm picking that up. I think she's a great character. I think she's a lot of what is great about her is because of her being a Hulk, being a Gamma character, you can see a lot of what's wrong, I guess, with Banner and him when he hulks out and the reason why he is this rage monster. You can compare them with each other. It's his issues with his own mental health and his own anger management that cause him to be like that, whereas Jen is the opposite side where she can control it and that's something that I really love about like that dialectic, I guess, relationship between the two of them.
Yeah, it's a good dynamic because she likes being a Hulk, and obviously Banner, depending on what run you're reading, does absolutely hates being the Hulk. So
yeah, and they did something.
It's just a day job. She's a lawyer, so it's funny.
Yeah, and you see her throughout her runs. Usually, she's hulked out like the majority of the time, and she'll have her rage version, I guess you can say, where she hulks out and loses control of herself. She gets bigger and stuff, but usually she's in that kind of like, I don't know, like Jolly Green Giant type mode where she's just a couple feet taller and looks like a WWE wrestler woman, which Banner doesn't have that. And you see like more recently a character that they used in the Totally Awesome Hulk by Greg Pak when Amadeus Cho was Hulk. He kind of had that control over himself, but towards the end of the run, when he adopts his new personality or his new identity as Brawn, who is what he calls himself now in the Champions, that's what Banner could look like if he could Hulk out in the same way that his cousin does, that Jen does. He's slimmed down. He just looks like a buff dude. He looks like the size of Thor or something. So I love the Hulk characters. I really love all of them.
Here's an important question. I had to because I'm married, and whenever I drove it, it was attracting too many women, and my wife got jealous.
Wait, you had a Lamborghini?
Nice.
No.
Oh. I don't know.
I mean, I could believe it,
Yeah.
It could happen.
I'm not a Lambo kind of guy. I'm not even a Porsche kind of guy.
He pulls up next to his McLaren in the driveway.
A McLaren. No, I am not doing that.
As we've established, he has a jet. So come on, let's think a little bit bigger here.
The OmniJet is where I put all my money.
There you go. You hit a big in Bitcoin a few years ago. That's what happened.
I bought Movie Pass, and I'm going to turn that company around.
Nice.
Or you can just be like Hasbro and buy Death Row Records.
Yeah, what was that about? Where's that
random.
fit in the business plan?
I don't know where that came from. They bought some company, I think it's called E1, and apparently E1 owns all the Death Row Records and their catalog. And
Jesus.
Hasbro bought them out for like $4 billion. I mean, they had a bunch of other. I think they owned like Peppa Pig and a lot of other more like childhood, like child appropriate IPs. And randomly, it's like, hey, yeah, it's like when I buy a collection of comic books at the store and I'm flipping through it. Like, oh, I didn't know there was a Hulk 181 in here. Look at that. That's awesome. I paid $200 for this whole block. And all of a sudden, they're like, oh, look at this. We got, the entire catalog of, Tupac and the entire catalog of Dr. Dre, everything from
Oh my god.
Snoop Dogg.
So it's just an inadvertent thing that they purchased, but the articles that people are putting out, it makes it seem like Hasbro purposefully went out and sought to buy Death Row Records.
I'm really looking forward to Suge Knight dangling Peppa Pig over a building window. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, that's how they get him to sign that contract, or maybe they'll give Peppa Pig AIDS.
I'm just curious what the Build-A-Figure is going to be.
The Build-A-Figure, I already said it once. The Build-A-Figure is you're going to get a piece of the pieces of the Build-A-Figure. If you put it together, it's going to be the gun that killed Tupac.
Too soon?
He got shot down the street from where I live. Not down the street, but I drive by it every day.
Near Circus.
It's near Ellis Island.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really crappy bar that I went to once. And I was like, oh, this is a nice dive bar. Have a cheap beer. And then at a certain time, like they hit a switch and turns into a karaoke bar, and I was in hell. I hate karaoke.
So what else came out? We got a Ms. Marvel show.
Yes, that's awesome.
That's really awesome. So already Disney Plus is, I'm not going to be able to move from my television with these shows. I mean, these shows we know Disney's behind them, so they're going to be good. They're exciting characters with incredible prospects to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
And they're popular characters too.
Yeah.
These are characters that people have been clamoring for a TV show or a movie or whatever. And with like this is phase 4, right? For the MCU. So there is it's probably going to happen because these are actual Disney produced shows that Miss Marvel and Moon Knight and She-Hulk could end up in an actual movie.
Yeah.
So they can actually step out of the Disney Plus streaming and actually be a part of the actual films.
Unlike with the Netflix stuff, which they didn't really officially say anything until after that was all done, when they were like, yeah, these were not going to be connected. We don't even consider it the same thing. Like they're part of that universe, but only in the fact that they'll mention like, oh, there was an attack on New York, but they never had any direct connection. There was never any intent of a direct connection. But with these, it's very, very possible, because we're seeing characters from the movies are appearing on these shows, like Falcon, Winter Soldier, Scarlet Witch and Vision, and Hawkeye are all going to be appearing. And then the What If series is supposed to feature voice work, because it's animated, from actors that have appeared in all the films. So you're seeing these characters who have been in the films appearing on the Disney Plus stuff.
Yep.
So it's very, very realistic that we could, and Loki, and then it's very realistic that we could see the ones who are going to be original to Disney Plus appearing down the line in team up movies or as a guest on another movie. Like, you know, She-Hulk could appear in a Thor movie or something. I don't know.
Or you can even see like maybe, you know, Mark Ruffalo appear in She-Hulk. You know,
right?
That crossover.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Right. It's very realistic to. It's a realistic expectation, I guess.
Well, I think they confirmed. I think they said that the Netflix stuff isn't considered like proper MCU canon. Like that,
yeah, they. But it wasn't until after all of it that they really confirmed that they really came out and said it's not. It was never really part of it. It was never intended to be part of it, and it was under a completely different. Like, it was Jeff Loeb that was doing all of those, rather than Kevin Feige having his hands on it.
Yeah, right. And if you watch like Punisher and Daredevil and stuff like that, they deliberately skirted around. Like, they called Thor the guy with the hammer, or the big green guy, or the attack on New York. They just referred to as the event.
Yeah.
So they deliberately made it where there was no direct connection to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah. But I can see these characters coming back. Now, I can see there being like a Disney Plus streaming Daredevil or a Disney Plus streaming Punisher, because and maybe even Jessica Jones, those seem to be the more popular shows that came out from that Netflix series. I can see them coming back in like a Disney Plus streaming thing later down the road. Probably different cast and stuff, but still.
Well, the TV and movie side have never gotten along. Like, those two departments have. Jeff Loeb and Kevin Feige hate each other. They do not get along at all, and that's where a lot of the conflict was coming from.
Really? Yeah, I thought there was. That didn't seem to be like it, because, you know, Sam Jackson appeared on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. before and stuff like that.
They've gone out. It's been on record that the two sides just do not get along that well creatively. They just they don't.
And basically, all the ABC shows are pretty much dead, anyways, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. it's getting its last season 7. So when that's done, Ghost Rider's moving on to Hulu in his own solo series. They're gonna do like a Adventures in Fear thing with Hellstrom, and the Inhumans died a long time ago, so there's nothing of the ABC and Netflix stuff anymore. That is all in the past, and now you just have everything in the movies and Hulu.
Hey, but the bright side is, Gio, they're gonna have to use Lockjaw at some point again.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm excited. The potential is there to reintroduce them in a fun way with Miss Marvel.
That's the route to go. If you're going to reintroduce them, put them in Miss Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Black Bolt is killing it on Star Trek. I'm telling you.
Nice.
He is killing it on that show.
What captain is he? He's Captain
Pike.
Oh, he's Pike. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That show is great. I've only got a few more episodes left.
Real quick, just because I'm looking on IST, and this is a bad idea, but I was looking up Moon Knight trades on IST, and I forgot the current or the last running Moon Knight series was really good. The Max Bemis stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
That stuff was great. That was really twisted.
With Jason Burrows on the first arc.
Yeah.
And I think, was it Ty Templeton did the second arc of artwork?
Yeah.
Something,
so there's a lot of good
something
Moon
like
Knight stuff out there for people to kind of check out.
And they
And
have,
again-
I think they have all of they should have all the modern trades, basically from Bendis forward. I think they have all the Moon Knight on IST. It's the pre-Bendis stuff, and they have a couple of the epics, but they don't have the middle one.
Yep. I don't know if you guys mentioned it, but the What If series, I didn't know that it was. I thought it was just like a spin-off thing, but it's like officially part of the MCU. And each episode is going to be based on a movie of the Marvel movies.
Cool.
So they're going to do 20-something episodes. So
So-
each episode, like, what if Captain America? What if Iron Man? Stuff like that.
They're almost caught up with 007 as far as number of movies.
So it's one and done season.
So far, it's only one season, I think.
Yeah, and Loki's just been confirmed for 6 episodes.
Yeah.
And then we also they announced the Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur animated series too.
Looking forward to that.
That should be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to
there's
it.
this phase 4 is stuffed. Like, there might not be a million movies coming out, and most of the movies are like new properties that they're trying to play with. But
yeah,
it's just when you look at the expanded things, it's just stuffed with material.
Mm-hmm.
So
It
what
really
about?
does feel like a universe now, in my opinion. Because
I mean,
it's not
it's a
just,
multiverse now.
yeah, and I know, but before you only had the movies and like, yeah, Marvel Universe, whatever. But now it really does feel like a universe because you're integrating different platforms and mediums. You're adding TV, animation, standalone movies, all that stuff. So now it really feels cohesive, as the kids like to say.
Synergy.
kids
Yeah.
don't know that word.
Sure, they do. They don't know what it means, though. But
Oh, well, that I believe.
It's commonly confused with adhesive. The Marvel
probably
Cinematic Universe is very adhesive. It sticks to you.
It's sticky.
Speaking of
No,
sticky,
sticky. Nice.
about
I was just
that,
gonna say that.
how about that spider guy?
So long, Webhead.
No, wait. I think he's back.
No, he's not. It hasn't
Yeah,
been
he-
confirmed yet.
All right,
Nothing,
I'm gonna
nothing
make a
really happened.
prediction. I bet he comes back.
I'm with you on this one. There's way too much money left on the table for this.
So
one.
yeah.
here's
That's
the last
it's all bullshit. He's
the
coming
last
back.
that I had heard was Feige said we got to tell the story we wanted to tell. We knew it wasn't permanent, and so that sounds pretty, end of deal. But at the same time, I didn't hear any it's two businesses trying to make a negotiation. You go back and forth. Anyone who's ever made any sort of negotiation, even if you're buying a car or a house or something off of eBay, like you're making negotiations with someone. And I didn't hear about a back and forth between them saying like, well, this is what we want to offer, and then making a counter offer and then another counter offer and landing on something. So yeah, it's possible it's still up in the air. But from what they've said, Feige said that, and it sounds pretty final. And then Tom Holland has said his things. But from what I've heard is if they split, Tom's still playing Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
So
if that's true, the thing you have to, this is what I've been thinking about, is Feige's right in they told their story. Because the whole story from Civil War through Far From Home it's done. And Far From Home ends basically all of Peter's connection to anyone else in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because his only real connection, the only character that really did anything to develop him was Tony Stark. And Far From Home was an entire movie about Peter moving on from having the loss of his mentor. And it does end with a giant cliffhanger, but that cliffhanger is not one that involves the rest of the MCU if it doesn't need to. Or if it can't. It's a very Spider-specific thing. It's a very Peter-specific thing that happens. So if they split, Tom's still playing Spider-Man. They can still use the same stuff. He's just not appearing in the MCU movies aside from his, he's just appearing in his own stuff. They can still continue and they can still do what they want with that plot line and still make, Spider-Man homeless and Spider-Man Home Alone and Spider-Man, home fries. And every movie, they can still continue building off of what had happened before. They'll just alleviate the issue that a lot of people had with the 2 Spider-Man movies, and that was that he was too leaning on Tony. And
I agree with that.
His villains both spun out of Iron Man. His entire being spun out of Tony pulling him out and being like, here, now you're an Avenger, all that stuff. So he would be able to go off on his own, follow up on the cliffhanger from Far From Home, do his own thing, establish all his stuff, and Sony won't be making these weird Spider-Man spin-off films that cannot be connected to Spider-Man. Now they can make a Venom movie that connects to Spider-Man. They can make a Black Cat movie. They can make all these different films that spin off and actually involve Spider-Man. The only thing that possibly could have happened in the MCU, and they didn't say anything official about it, there was rumor that they wanted to use Norman Osborn as a bigger villain for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that's the only thing that would suffer, but they haven't set anything up regarding that at all. Mm-hmm. So the MCU going forward, if Spidey's not in there, it's not going to suffer at all from any plans that were already set. And Spidey is not going to suffer at all from any of his plans by not being able to interact with those characters. They can exist in their own ways and in their own little areas, much like many of the comics are, where Spidey goes off and fights Dr. Octopus. It's not like Captain America is fighting, the Jackal or anything. Mm-hmm. And it works, and it would work just fine. It's just a matter of, creatively, can Sony still hang on to everything that had been working before, or will they have to start finding new people? And even if they do have to start finding new people, they already struck gold with the anime. I know the animated studio is different from the other studio, but they struck gold with Spider-Verse. And if they can have any of that over with those movies, they're going to make it. Like, they're going to make it work so well. So I'm not, whatever happens, I'm not, as a fan, as a viewer, and as someone who's loved Spider-Man since I could say the word Spider-Man, I'm not worried at all.
So what we know that ended up happening back when this deal was first struck, Sony and Marvel got together. Kevin Feige and I forgot who it was. They helped break the deal down. Basically, Marvel would help produce the films. Kevin Feige would have a say in it, and so would Sony. They would go back and forth a lot, with the condition that Marvel would get 5% of the first day proceeds. The big catch of it is 5% of the first day proceeds really isn't that much. Marvel would get 100% of the proceeds involving toys, the shirts, basically just merchandise. Like the merchandise stuff, Marvel got that. Sony would get the film, basically all the money from the films. We're now a few years later where apparently what ended up happening, and there's a few conflicting reports back and forth as to what exactly the details are. Apparently what ended up happening was that Marvel and Sony, they got together, they couldn't strike the deal. This is for people that, with the three of you that haven't read this up. They weren't able to strike the deal. The deal that Marvel came up to Sony was, we want 50% of everything. We want 50% of the rights of the gross of the film, of everything. We just want 50%. Sony said, "Fuck you. We're taking our ball and we're going home. We're not going to do 50. We're not doing that 50% deal. There's no way." And there are conflicting reports as to what happened. Apparently, it was that Marvel was trying to highball them, and then they were hoping for maybe just to negotiate for a lower deal, and that's basically the gist of it. My thinking, this is my 2 cents. Sony has Venom. Venom almost, if it didn't, I'm pretty sure it got really close to breaking $1 billion at the box office, if it didn't already. And I think Gio, you can probably confirm that.
The movie made $856 million.
Yeah, that's not small. That's huge. That's a big chunk of change that Venom made. They also have Spider-Verse, and they have Lord and Miller. Lord and Miller are fucking the two of the best guys working in Hollywood right now. And they didn't direct Spider-Verse, but one of them did write it, and they had a heavy influence in Spider-Verse. So my guess is they looked at everything that they had, the cards on the table, and they looked at Spider-Man and said, thanks for setting everything up. We're going to take our ball and we're going to go home. However, I also think there is way too much money being left on the table for this. I think that a lot of this is fan outcry, and Marvel and Sony, they both reached out to fans saying, oh, we wish that it could happen, but this side didn't want to do this and that side didn't want to do that. And I personally think a few months or a few weeks down the road, they're going to come back to this and they're going to go, okay, let's see what we can do as far as a deal, because there's really way too much money being left on the table. And while I agree with Ryley that, yes, Spider-Man's story is pretty much told in the MCU, that is still a huge hole that's going to be taken out of the MCU going forward. You're still going to have quite a few people in the next Avengers film, the general movie-going audience, you know, the ones that don't really pay attention to this stuff. They're going to go, well, this is cool, but where's Spider-Man? Like, why isn't Spider-Man in the next Avengers film, you know? Like, for example, my mom, she watches, like, the big stuff. She watches it with my stepdad. And my stepdad doesn't follow this stuff. He loves Spider-Man, though. He's not going to know in the next Avengers film why Spider-Man isn't there. You know? So I think that at the end, this is just Disney basically swinging their big, huge dick around.
That's a pretty big one.
And trying to really strong arm Sony in seeing what they can do, because the fact is that Sony Pictures really doesn't have that big of a leg to stand on. Aside from Spider-Man, their films, they're not that great. You know, they really don't have that many films that make money. So at 50% is a huge take from anybody, and Disney knows better.
But Disney wasn't saying just give us 50%. They were saying we will finance 50% of the movies as well.
Right. It was a co-financing deal, but 50% is still a lot. And right now they've been doing really well with the 5% deal that they've had right now. So that's a huge jump for anybody, for any corporation. So my that's just my 2 cents. I think they're going to come back to this eventually, and I think that they're going to work something out. And if not, then we still get Spider-Verse, and I'm happy with that. And we'll see what ends up happening. But you know the thing that they're going to fast track is a Venom Spider-Man movie. They're going to fast track that so fast.
Dude, we're going to get Maximum Carnage ASAP.
Oh yeah. And we know for a fact that Tom Holland filmed the scene for Venom, but they cut it out at the last minute.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much what we're saying here. I think this is just your typical Hollywood posturing, where they make these big announcements that this is going to work out, we're done. I mean, how many times have like Chris Hemsworth or Chris Evans said, oh, well, I'm not going to play this character anymore. And then they wake up the next morning in their 5 swimming pools they have in their backyard and now full of cash. So it's going to be the same kind of thing. They're going to work out some kind of deal. You start at 50% and you talk your way down to maybe 25 or 20 or whatever the case might be. This is going to be, they're going to fix this, I think.
Yeah.
And if they don't, yeah, just like what Ryley and Louise said, we're not out of anything. What are we out of? That Spider-Man and Iron Man together again? He's dead, so that's already spoiler. Sorry, but he's dead, so there's not gonna be that interaction anymore, anyways. So all I care is if this falls out and this gets me a Maximum Carnage movie, fine, I'll accept that.
It just means that if we have a Dark Avengers, it's gonna look different than the comics. Like that's the main thing. And yeah, like Spider-Man might not be. Yeah, and it's Spider-Man might not be. Yeah, because Iron Patriot was War Machine, so it's already we're already screwing with that. But it's like Spider-Man's not going to be teaming up with the Avengers in the next movie. Like that's fine. I'm not too bothered by it. But the big thing to consider is it's not just about like the share of the profits, but like Gabe mentioned, it's the share of like how much it costs to produce these movies and stuff. Because if you look at the actual numbers of what Sony was taking home after all of the costs that went into the previous movies, they weren't making that much. It was always less than 100 mil. It was always like, 80 mil or something. And with Amazing Spider-Man 2, they lost money on that movie. Mm-hmm. So that's when Disney and Marvel Studios stepped in and started saying like, well, we can make you money, basically. Like we'll do this deal. So that's like the big consideration that I would think that Sony has to make is just looking at it and being like, not only can we make these movies, but can we make them and still turn the profit that we were turning with these 2 Tom Holland installments? Can we still do that in the same way? And if not, if we're just going to have a repeat of the Andrew Garfield stuff and just not make money at all, then is it really worth it for us to split and not fall back on the financial backing that Disney can give us?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're totally right. And the thing is that Tom Holland is confirmed. I think he's in. There's been conflicting reports. People are just spreading rumors to spread fucking rumors because that's the internet nowadays. But apparently, Tom Holland has a contract for 2 more Spider-Man films.
Right.
That's what we know so far. The director, I think, has not been fully confirmed if he's back yet. They said that yes. They said no. If the director isn't coming back, then the easy choice is Lord and Miller. Like you get them to direct a Spider-Man movie.
I disagree. I think it's Tommy Wiseau.
That's a good choice. That's a very good choice. I mean, really, the easy choice would be you've got them already basically on the payroll. Just get them to do a Spider-Man movie. They're probably already in pre-production on Spider-Verse. That's in some degree on the next one. But if there's anybody that could turn this around, it would be Lord and Miller.
Just bring back Sam Raimi. Just bring back Tobey Maguire. Bring back Willem Dafoe. Bring back James Franco. Bring back all of them.
Oh God, those guys are way too old for that.
Those movies are terrible, man. I don't care what anybody. Those movies are awful.
No, I love those movies, dude. Even the third one, like, it's not
the third
great.
one.
All right. You lost all credibility right there.
You should have stopped at 2. I was with you.
The third one, even it's not great, but when compared to what came directly thereafter, and also it was too overstuffed was the problem.
Yeah.
And you can look at it and see it's a lot of interference was what really hurt it.
Yeah.
And that's what also hurt us from not getting the 4th one that was planned. And I've seen what the plan was for the 4th one, and it looked great until Sony started stepping in and was like, well, instead of Black Cat, let's make her the Vulturess, and let's have like 5 villains, and let's blah 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 blah. And it was too much. But there's a lot. I think there's enough that's redeeming about the third one that like I can rewatch it and have a good time and laugh at all the shitty parts. But the first 2 movies, I watched Spider-Man 1 literally like 4 days ago, and it still holds up really fucking well, except for like a couple of the effects look hokey, but it's from 2002, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have the 4Ks, and I've watched those over the summer, and they're still great. Spider-Man 2 to me is still, for me, the best live-action Spider-Man film that we've gotten. That train sequence is still incredible. It still holds up really well. It's a damn shame. I think you could cut out the entirety of that Venom stuff from the third film, and it's still it's a much better movie. Like you could cut all that crap out.
I've said that exact thing before. I have literally said the exact thing because surprisingly, all the Sandman stuff is great.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of like, when you tell someone, oh, we're going to have Sandman as the main villain for a movie, like it's not really the most exciting thing because he's not the most well-loved villain, but he was great. Like that, the transformation sequence was fantastic. It was just being overstuffed and having a horrible Venom. Like that really killed it, and just overstuffing with too much stuff going on. 3 villains. Why can't they just give James Franco his own fucking goblin costume? They're gonna call him a goblin, and they're gonna have him flying around. Like I guess they want to show his face off, but yeah, like give him the freaking mask. Like give him a different mask. Give him a hood. I don't know, but I don't know. That's all. Neither here nor there.
That's funny because the Venom stuff is the only stuff I kind of like from Spider-Man 3. Because that Sandman stuff, when they kind of change, when they actually changed the idea of how Uncle Ben died, and they made it a part of Sandman's storyline, and all that other kind of. The only thing cool about Sandman was really the effects that they did for him was really great, but his storyline and how they try to make everything tied into the death of Uncle Ben was the stuff that really ruined that movie for me. I mean, even like the hokey, emo Spider-Man stuff, I kind of get because of the idea of the Venom symbiote attacking him, and that's the reason why I only like the Venom stuff. Really, the Sandman stuff is really what I felt really hurt that film.
Basically, that movie should have been 3 movies. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. No, it's 2 different films. It's 2 different films crashing into each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really what it is, and it's a damn shame. Raimi wanted to come back and do a 4th one. He said, "Give me more time. I will do a 4th one. I just need more time to get this right. I want these villains." He wanted to do Vulture and Lizard for the longest time, but Sony didn't want that, and so Raimi said, "Okay, I'm not doing it." And Toby, he would only come back if Raimi would come back. So that didn't end up happening.
And I kind of remember them saying somewhere that they were also trying to force Carnage onto him too.
Yeah, I believe that.
He was gonna also do what everyone was assuming and have Bruce Campbell be Mysterio.
Yeah.
In an opening sequence because it was supposed to be like a few years later into his career as Spider-Man. He's fought a lot of villains, and there was going to be like a kind of a opening credit sequence that went through a lot of little things that he did, and it was going to be him facing off against Mysterio, and you were going to see Bruce Campbell behind the fishbowl.
Yeah. And Raimi has said he's not a fan of the more modern day villains. He loves the classic stuff. He's a big fan of the Ditko era. He's a big fan of those old villains. So that's where he mined a lot of that stuff from.
I'm just sad that we probably will not see Scorpion, and that is a knife to my heart because that's all I've ever wanted from a Spider-Man movie. And we were this close to finally getting him. Thanks to Homecoming.
Don't say that. Don't say that because they've been dying to do a Sinister Six. They've been dying to do a Sinister Six movie for years.
That was the whole goal for the Amazing series.
Yeah, the Andrew Garfield stuff. They showed it at the end of the movie. They showed
all the different suits and stuff at the end and the emblems, and they would have come back. But they've established at least 6 different characters that could appear for a Sinister Six within the Spider-Man movies in the MCU so far. And if Tom Holland's coming back, there's no reason. And the fact that Sony is hungry to make all these spin-off movies, there's no reason that they wouldn't continue and go with their plan of doing a Sinister Six.
So far, they've got Venom, Morbius, and Venom 2, and what they're calling the Sony Marvel Universe. That's what they're calling it.
Weird.
Yeah.
Is there any current news we need to talk about? Like this week?
That was this week.
Yeah.
What about He-Man coming back?
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. It's not
Sorry.
this week. That was a tangent, guys.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is every week in the Moore household.
I know.
My wife, she will only play the PS4 game with the Maguire attire.
While we think about stories, this is actually a good question to me that I will answer while we think about what we want to talk about next. Jess, when you watched the Adam West Batman show as a young boy, did you realize the camp, or did you think it was serious and dramatic at the time? That's a good question because I was 7 years old at the time when it came out, and I thought it was dramatic and serious. I took it very seriously. And then it came back in reruns when I was 13, and I was so excited. I rushed home from school to watch Batman again in reruns on syndication, and I was crestfallen. I said, "What the hell is this? This is not the show I remember at all." I was so bummed out. It was so campy and so laughable. I could see Cesar Romero's mustache. It was ridiculous. I just was so bummed out. So, good question, Sam Cluxton.
Well, talking about something that's not from this week.
Well, yeah, you guys went back to 2002. I went back to 1966.
I also, when I first saw Batman 66, Adam West Batman, I thought it was serious too. I was like, how the fuck are they going to get out of this clam? They're going to kill this. This clam's going to kill him. Or they're stuck in this echo chamber that's going to kill him, or whatever weird plot device that they cooked up from the golden age of Batman. I was ready for it. I was like, they're going to kill they're going to kill Robin this episode. Oh, part 2 is tomorrow. You know, so I was into it too. I think I didn't catch the camp until like I don't know. I'm kind of still immature, but probably wasn't until my late teens. I realized, oh, this is kind of lame now.
Yeah.
But what about I brought it up for a second, but what about He-Man coming back? Did you guys hear about that?
It was Kevin Smith was involved in that. Is that what it was?
Yeah, Kevin Smith's involved. He's the showrunner. One of the main writers of the show is his one of his podcast partners, Mark Bernardin.
Yeah.
And it's a Netflix series. They're bringing back He-Man, and it is supposed to be a continuation of the 80s cartoon series.
It's awesome.
But
it's awesome.
yeah, talk about going back to something and realizing it's campy. That He-Man stuff is garbage. That stuff is horrible. It's very much just Skeletor going, yeah, He-Man. It's the worst.
I'm so happy for Kevin Smith, man. I'm really happy for that dude. He looks like he's even in a better place. Guy lost a lot of weight and stuff like that, and he just seems like he's overall in a much better place right now.
But I'm excited to see this because they got the animation department or the animation company that did the Castlevania Netflix series.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, to do the animation and they're really they talked about it like our main job here is to make these fight scenes supposed to be epic and huge and comparable to how you used to play with your toys as a kid.
They should have gotten the animators from the original series.
Oh god! Oh god!
And just continue make it exactly the same.
Make it super homoerotic. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Ervin Sandoval. We don't talk about Star Wars here because Gabe hates it.
Star Wars is whack.
No,
I did have that. I got that VHS set out of that collection I bought the other day.
Speaking of Star Wars, your boy is going to be in Disney next month, and I'm going to Galaxy's Edge, and I'm building my own damn lightsaber.
yeah, awesome.
You know,
It's $200. You get to go through a whole show where the Resistance pulls you in and is like, here's some parts, choose what theme you want, and then you get to pick the pieces and put together your own lightsaber. Choose your.
Are you going to Disney World or Disneyland?
Disney World. I'm no chump.
Okay. you know to get the Dole Whip. That's right. We already talked about it.
Yeah, I've been watching hours of content on YouTube about all of the different food that I need to eat.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come back with about 50 more pounds all in my ass, man.
Also, make sure you steal everything you can. Steal a coaster, steal a menu, take whatever you can and put it on eBay.
Oh, there's something.
Finance my entire trip.
No, I'm serious. I don't know if it's still going on, but when the Galaxy's Edge first opened, people were taking the coasters and the menus and putting them on eBay, and they were going for stupid money, hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's something. LeFou's Brew at Gaston's Pub is even better than Dole Whip. My daughter said
they have a lime Dole Whip margarita, and
I don't drink, so I can't attest to it. I don't drink, but I'm more intrigued by the fact that it's a lime Dole Whip because lime anything is I fucking love it. When it's done right, shitty lime stuff is shitty, but great lime stuff, oh my god! And they're topping it with tahini, the chili lime. Where's this?
Stuff. Somewhere in Disney World. I saw it on a video. I don't know where it is. It's in one of the restaurants. So I'm like, fuck, if I can get it, I'd rather have it virgin, honestly. Just to have the lime Dole Whip with tahini on the rim and stuff. I would absolutely die for that. I'm excited, dude. There's so much good food there. The lightsaber is awesome. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a red kyber crystal, but you can buy different colored kyber crystals. They have blue, red, green, purple, yellow, and I think also white. So you can make a number of different designs and stuff. The only thing that sucks is you can't make a double-sided one or a curved one.
Don't forget the bottomless milkshake place I told you about.
Yeah, I don't know if I could even finish one, though. Because if I recall, those things looked huge.
No, you could.
I could.
You could. You can do it. I mean, I had to stop because I was afraid of getting sick, but I had 3 of them. That was my lunch.
Don't worry about it.
That was my lunch. You owe it to yourself to have milkshakes for lunch. I mean, you're young. Come on.
Yeah.
You made the smart choice of coming next month because like the summer's over and most of the kids are back to school and stuff like that. Because the park was slammed through the summer. You could not get into that place during the summer.
We're we're doing it at the time when they'll be doing the Halloween. Like the first night we're there, we're doing their Halloween party.
Oh, cool.
And you
That
go
is
in
so
like
cool.
you get basically unlimited fucking candy from trick or treating. Like
Oh boy.
they hand out. Dude,
We're gonna lose
it's the
you.
first night, so I'm gonna have like 500 pounds of candy to last me the entire trip. I've already signed my soul to the devil, and I'm having diabetes and very soon in my life.
I'm looking forward to turning on the news and seeing Texas man steals buckets of candy from children at Disneyland.
Yeah,
I mean, it's free.
And goes, oh, take one candy, and you just take the whole bucket and the bowl and all the candy.
Been there, done that.
Yep.
Oh,
And when they notice
natural.
they notice that their bowl is gone, and then I walk back around the block and see if they put another one out. I'll take that one too. Unless it's like shitty candy, like I don't want your Necco wafers and nickel nips. Like,
your Tootsie Roll.
Necco wafers blow.
I mean, I'd take a Tootsie Roll ahead of the others.
Oh, Tootsie Roll, yeah. Necco wafers, no way.
I'll take a wafer over a Tootsie Roll any day.
Oh, and forget those circus peanuts. Those things blow too.
Or just those candies that are just like orange and black. You're like, what is this stuff?
Nobody knows.
Oh, you're the house that gives me pennies? Yeah, you're the house.
And fuck candy corn. I'm going to throw those pennies through your window.
Yep.
Ryley, are you guys doing Horror Nights? It's like right down the road at Universal Studios.
I have no idea. My wife is planning literally everything. She just told me about a couple things. She's like, yeah, this is what we're doing. You're building a lightsaber. And I was like, oh, shit. Cool.
You guys should consider doing it. Horror Nights is always a blast.
Oh, she's also been building us ears. I actually, Megan's upset with me right now because I accidentally put the ears in a box, and I meant to put them in the box safely, but hers got a little bit messed up. But she's making ears, so these are Star Wars themed ears.
Nice.
Boba and the Stormtrooper on there, and then here's hers.
Oh,
a little bow on it, and
so
then
sweet.
she has an Esmeralda theme, or not Esmeralda. This is a Megara theme from Hercules. So purple with gold and nice sparkly. And then she also made we're gonna be Buzz and Jessie, and so here's her Jessie ears. I guess she's making the Buzz ears today. Nice. So she's been working on those really hard. They're really awesome, and she got really upset because I think I crushed a bow. So I feel really bad. I was supposed to be actually at my sister-in-law's house doing this, but I was like, I'm gonna stay home because she's over there working on the ears. I'm just gonna stay home today.
Fenner 27. I went to Disney World in 2015 during Christmas time, and it was November when the Christmas lights were up, and it was amazing.
It's beautiful.
Amazing. They emptied the park out, and then there was Mickey's Christmas Festival where you had to buy an extra ticket, but they shushed all the great unwashed out of there, so the only ticket holders could go in and have our special night, and it was unbelievable. It was worth every penny to see this special show. It was remarkable. So
Halloween time for Disneyland is my favorite time to go to Disneyland.
I bet. There's a whole new thing at Disney World. I'm sorry, at Disneyland this year.
Oh, really?
For Halloween, there's at California Adventure. They've got a whole new thing set up for Halloween with a new character they invented, and it's all about her. And I read about it, and I want to go do it not this year, but next year.
So the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, during Halloween, it becomes Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, cool.
And it's awesome. It's the coolest thing. And everything is decked out in like Mickey Mouse pumpkins, and everybody's in costume, and it's everything is kettle corn. It's my favorite time. It's the only time I like going to Disneyland is really during Halloween.
I know when my wife retires, when my wife retires, she thinks we're going to be going to like Australia and Croatia and everything.
Boring.
Yeah, no, we're going to be going to Disneyland and Disney World like every 6 months.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's all we're gonna do.
Speaking of Star Wars, what about all that Star Wars? And also speaking of never walking away from Disney Plus, I'm sure you guys are going to be stuck there also with all the new Star Wars shows that they announced.
They had my money. Like they all they had to do was say they're going to have Disney's movies available for streaming, and they had my money already. And then they were like, also we're going to have all the Star Wars movies and all of the Marvel movies. And I was like, okay, you already had my money. Calm down. And then they're like, we're also going to develop tons of original content for these properties. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, like you could literally charge me $30 a month and I would still sign up, but you're basically giving me the keys to the kingdom, and I get like a lifetime worth of entertainment for how much per month? Like not even
$12 or something.
Like do you know how much money you could be making, Disney? Like, I should probably shut my mouth so I can keep getting that for such a great price. But like, holy crap!
Yeah, they're gonna have a huge install base on. Was it November 12th? Is that when it launches?
It's gonna probably explode. Like their servers are just gonna just.
That's $7. That's $7 price point. There's no way that's staying.
Is it $7?
The $12 is where it comes with Hulu and ESPN.
Yes. Okay. And that's $7, but that $7 price point is not going to stay that way.
That's an introductory. That's an introductory thing.
Oh, dude, like what Ryley said, $25-$40 a month. I'm in because I'm never going to do anything else but watch Disney movies and Marvel
Especially
movies. I will watch that Mandalorian. That thing looks dope. I'll watch the Mandalorian.
I say within a year that price goes up. I say within a year that price goes up to $10 easily.
Do it now. I don't care.
I hope that she saw me mention that I had an accident about her ears. That I didn't intend on hurting the ears, but I also showed off the amazing work that she did on. I hope that she saw that.
Yeah, she did show off all they were very impressive. All that work looked really nice.
You should just make a bunch of those and put them on Etsy or something.
Yeah.
I think that might have been where the inspiration was from. She'd have to comment and say for sure, but I know she does look at a lot of those things. And we were looking for like shirts. Yeah, we were looking for shirts on Etsy and stuff like that, and they're a little more expensive because I'm getting like a Buzz Lightyear shirt to wear. Oh, I think I showed this on a previous show, but I found this shirt at Target. Now that we're still on Disney, but Disney Plus for people with kids. That's like the best thing that anyone could ever do.
Do my kids, because they're going to have that Mickey Racers. My kids love Mickey Racers.
So it's a Texas Forever Mickey Mouse shirt. Like I found this at Target. I wasn't looking. I went to Target just with the intent of spending money on other things that I didn't need, and they had something that I actually did need.
Sweet.
Well, the impressive thing is just how much me too. The impressive thing is just how much they're undercutting Netflix in terms of price. Because Netflix, we know they're in a lot of debt right now, a lot of debt, and they're trying to slash prices. And you got to consider your options. If I'm a father, and I've got my kids, and they want to see cartoons and stuff like that, am I going to pay $17 a month or whatever it is? For that's the premium Netflix plan. And Disney has gone on record saying $7 a month. There are no different tier strategies. If you have a 4K TV, you buy the $7 plan on Disney Plus, you get 4K streaming if it supports it. Like there's not that whole split thing that Netflix is doing. If I'm a parent and I'm going, well, for $12 a month, I get Hulu, I get ESPN, and I get Disney for my kids. Why am I going to pay Netflix? How much is it for just their basic tier? I think it's like $12.
12 or 13.
Don't front, man. That Disney's not for kids. That's for you too.
Yeah, that's for me too. Why am I going to pay Netflix that $12 a month just for their programming, which has just gone down the toilet over the last few years in terms of the good stuff that they have? I think the only good thing that they have right now going is Stranger Things, and like
it's not even the price point, really. Like for me, it's not even the price point for Netflix. It's just the fact that I don't think I'm gonna have time to watch anything else besides Disney Plus. Like, why am I gonna pay $15 or whatever I pay for Netflix? And I'm never gonna use it because it's gonna be just a total 100% Disney household once that streaming service starts.
Yeah.
And I'll watch Netflix when like the next big event comes out, like the next Stranger Things, I'll sign back up. Or when they start doing the Lord of the Rings stuff, I'll sign back up. Is that Netflix
Yeah.
or is that Amazon? I don't remember.
Amazon.
But it'll be just like that. It's kind of like how people treat HBO subscriptions. Where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's Game of Thrones. I'll pay $10 to watch this last season. That's going to be the deal with Netflix as well.
Right.
That's what we've been saying in our house as well, because until just recently, I don't remember the last time that we turned on. Well, we looked at Netflix for Stranger Things, which was 10 40-minute episodes or whatever, so for a few nights. But before that, it might have been months since I had watched anything on Netflix. And then I went on there the other day and I just started. I was like, you know what, I haven't watched like the majority of the Marvel shows. I'm just going to add them onto my thing. And I found a few other things. They had the 3rd season of Ash versus the Evil Dead, so we watched that. And so I'm looking through and I'm like, man, there's really like, once I finish all these old Marvel shows, and there's only like a couple things that I'm really interested in. Black Mirror and like I want to check out the Love Robot whatever the hell show that people about. I still haven't watched Castlevania, so I'd watch that. BoJack Horseman.
That's awesome.
Like, there are some things that I'd want to watch, but on the off season, I guess, like I don't need to have a subscription. And it's one of those things where you don't have to sign up for, a year subscription. You can do it month to month. So there's no point in me constantly paying, $17.99 for Netflix if we're just not going to use it. We use Hulu, especially when it's, during the on season for shows. We use Hulu every day because we'll watch shows after we get off work. As they come on like the day after they perform or they showed live.
Yeah.
But Netflix, we go months and months without watching it.
Oh, I watch Netflix all the time.
And the thing is with Netflix, I think it was just recently in their most recent shareholders meeting, they reported that they had a significant drop in subscribers over the past few months. Like it has really dropped for them, and they started to get a little nervous.
I can see that because right now, like what Ryley was saying, the only thing I'm really using Netflix for right now is my wife and I are watching that show, The Good Place.
That's great.
I love
It's an
The Good
ABC
Place.
show.
Great.
That
show.
took a while for me to dig into it. It took like 5 episodes. I was like, oh, this is getting good. And then it got really boring. It's like they know that they're getting boring. And then they hit you with like a cliffhanger or like a really cool review.
And that show also is on Hulu.
Right.
And it's also entering its last season.
Show. Yeah, it's an ABC show, I think, right? So
yeah.
it'll be on. And we're talking about like Marvel, and we're talking about Disney, and we're talking about all that kind of stuff. But they also have the whole Fox catalog. So I mean, all that Fox stuff is going to be on there as well, like Aliens and Predator, and who knows what else, Not
on Disney Plus. That won't be on Disney Plus. It'll be on Hulu.
Yeah. Oh no, I still get it.
yeah. No, you still get it. The thing is, Disney Plus. They've said it's going to be PG-13 or less. All on Disney Plus. That's it.
Interesting. Cool. Whatever. Like, man, my house is gonna be nothing but Disney and probably YouTube because my kids watch a ton of YouTube stuff.
So, will Lady and the Tramp live action have the Siamese twins, Siamese cats song?
Well, it looks like a really disgusting movie. Anyway, like we watched the trailer.
We are Siamese, if you don't please. If we are liking our new domicile, maybe
I think they could do it if they don't make it so.
Maybe quite a while.
If they don't make it so ethnic, like the way the cats look and stuff like that. I think they could.
Well, they made it
the sound of
really racist, so I don't know how they're gonna do it if they don't.
It just the trailer. I really don't like the idea of realistic looking animals that are speaking.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work because the animation is the big eyes, the super expressions and stuff, and you don't get that with Lion King. You don't get that with the Jungle Book. You're not going to get that with Dumbo or with this. And you lose that kind of heart and that soul.
Yeah, I kind of.
We talked about, like, Megan and I had a conversation about it, about like if we could talk to our dogs, and I was like, it'd be really freaking weird if Chewy was like, hey Dad, can I go outside? I need to go poop. And so, like, no, like it's disturbing. I really don't like the idea of a realistic animal speaking in, human language. It's just weird. I don't like it. It looks weird. That's why I didn't watch The Lion King. I didn't watch Dumbo. I'm not going to watch this Lady and the Tramp. It's going to give me nightmares.
I'm just happy that all the animals that they've used were from shelters. Like all the animals and cats and stuff like that they pulled, they were all from local shelters, and
Oh, that's great.
and they found them good homes.
Jess,
Yes.
new versions of the Siamese cats are also set to appear in the film, though the characters won't be depicted as Chinese due to their perceived racial stereotyping.
Lame. Lame. Give me my racial stereotype. In fact, I want more.
Oh, and here's actually, I agree with Derek Chua here. Babe was great.
The pig movie?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was one of my favorite movies watching with my daughter growing up. Love
Well, that's
that.
because it's George Miller.
Well, okay, George Miller.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a wonderful movie where all the animals talked.
It should have been Animal Farm, and they just killed each other.
I mean, George Miller could do, if they did a Babe crossover with any of the Mad Max stuff, that,
Yeah.
and Happy Feet.
That man's film catalog is so all over the place.
It's like Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
He's got like the Spy Kids trilogy, the Mexico trilogy, Sin City, that Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yep. Didn't he do a Predator movie? Or am I mistaken?
Yeah,
he did Predator.
He did something with Predator. That was the one with Topher Grace. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one when they went on a different planet. Spoiler.
I like that one.
I like that. It was
I
fun.
like that one a lot.
What one?
Yakuza versus Predator.
Yeah. Oh, that was cool.
That was a good film. That was really good. Where they get stranded out on the planet.
David Codd, no, I'm sorry. Siamese cats are agents of Satan.
What about those hairless cats? My wife hates those hairless cats. Like,
Those things are ugly, man. My ex wanted one of those, and those things are hideous.
Well, it's a good thing that you don't have a hairless cat.
We had a next door neighbor that had a hairless cat, and it was sitting in their window that was adjacent to our bedroom window. So I always had to keep the blind shut because my wife would just lose it. The thing just looks like no, I'm not gonna say what it looks like, but it's just a gross looking cat. Like, how can you pet though? I don't know. Petting them must be just like petting like skin. Basically, that's all you're doing. But I can see if you like cats and you have allergies or something. But that would not make good Chinese food.
Let's see, we talked about Disney. Actually, that's all we talked about. So
Disney owns this show now.
What's that?
Brought to you by Disney owns this show.
Disney Bros Live.
Disney Bros.
Did you speaking previously of Netflix? Did you watch both of the Rocco and the Zim specials?
I need to get on that.
I saw the Zim one
today. I'm sick, so today's my wife's birthday, so we got to go out and do something. But I'll probably be home in bed tomorrow, and I'll watch Invader Zim and Rocco.
I saw the Zim. It was okay.
I'm gonna get totally wasted on NyQuil and watch Zim. I'm probably gonna just lose my mind.
I like both of them. I thought the Zim one was better than Rocco, personally, because it felt like a really fun continuation of the plot line of the series and seeing like things progress for those characters. And Rocco, I think maybe like it's just been so long since I watched that series that I didn't even remember a lot of the characters. I was like, oh yeah, that guy. Oh yeah, this. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can see Rocco not holding up. I could see that. I could go back to it. Probably think of it not holding up. I think Zim, because Zim is advanced for what it was. It was supposed to be like a 7 to 12-year-old like TV show. Like it was in that age bracket, and it obviously was way beyond that. So I can see that still holding up for.
Yeah, and it also wasn't as long ago because Zim was early 2000s, but Rocco was early 90s.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing with Rocco was that it was kind of poking fun at the whole nature of like reboots and stuff, and then also having these characters thrown into current culture after they've been gone for 20 years. So there was a lot of amusing stuff, and it was also really short. It was like 40 minutes or something, whereas Zim was like I think a little over an hour.
Mm-hmm. It was about an hour 10, I think, something like that.
It was basically just an animated film.
Mm-hmm.
It made me like I honestly ordered the Zim hardcovers for the Oni series.
I have the first two, I think.
I almost ordered them because I was like, oh man, I was remembering how much I loved the cartoon and how much I loved Vasquez's other work, like Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. I was like, man, I haven't read those comics. Like that would be so much fun.
If you like Zim, you'll love the comics. At least I know for the first hardcover, it's all written by like the original, like I think it's written by the original writing cast or writing team of the show. So it feels like it's a part of the show. It has the same kind of voice and feel and exaggerations and all that stuff. So
ordering them now.
Yeah. And they're great hardcovers. They're beautiful, beautifully done. I love them.
The Rocco movie, doesn't the Rocco movie also have a strong trans pro message? Or like accepting who you are?
It's, I mean, spoilers, but straight up one of the characters from the original series winds up being trans.
Yeah, I mean, it's been out on the like everybody's been talking about it over the past few years.
I've completely forgot because I had seen people saying that, and then I was watching and I was like, oh yeah, I remember. But it's actually really like that's the best part of the entire movie is the way that it's done, or the entire special episode is the way that it's done and the way that it ties into the plot, and then by the end the way that these characters like interact with that character about this stuff.
And it makes sense within the, because I know who it is and like how that happens, but it makes sense within the context of who that character is and what species he is and
Johnny Randall, yeah, we all love Cat Dog. At least I know me and Jess are big fans of Cat Dog.
Love Cat Dog.
Love Cat Dog. Cat Dog.
That whole era
of Nickelodeon stuff.
Nickelodeon. I know. Yeah, I don't have to tell Gabe that, but yeah, that whole era of stuff is gold.
Yeah, bring back Cat Dog. Bring back Angry Beavers. Bring back Real Monsters.
Yes.
Yeah. Bring back. I mean, you probably can't bring back Doug. Maybe Disney will put Doug, the new Doug series on Disney Plus. Who knows? But that'd be great.
The Disney Doug series, was that like he was in middle school?
Yeah, that's when they grew up a little bit.
What if they did what if they pushed him into high school? They could do like a third series or something and see what he would be like. And they can have him as an adult. He can get into drugs and drinking. You know.
That was the Jess show.
He and Patty Mayonnaise finally, you know.
He can start a YouTube channel where he cuts the head off of Star Wars toys. Yeah, you know,
oh my God.
Turns out he's in Comicsgate, you know, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, the old era of like Danger Mouse was great. Even back then, you can think about like Count Duckula.
Yeah.
This isn't Nickelodeon or anything, but you guys remember Duckman? I would love to see some Duckman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With what's his name? With what's the actor's name from
Hallmark
Seinfeld?
from Seinfeld, yeah.
Yeah.
David
Jason Alexander.
Yeah. That was great. I don't know if you could do that show today. That show was pretty. Would be pushing a lot of envelopes and pushing a lot of.
It was kind of in the same vein as Rocco, or even more so Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
Like how mature the content would be in there.
I gotta find me a Duckman DVD set. God damn it!
I think it exists. Honestly,
I think I've seen it. Yeah.
I think I saw it on the eBay not too long ago. But you have to be careful sometimes because those sets, like I ordered the head and it was just a disc. Like it's not a set. It was like someone custom printed it.
A lot of those things are like that. I think the head's like that. The Max is like that. It's like print to order through Amazon.
I've seen a physical the Max before, but the head, I think they had a VHS, but then they never did a DVD. There's Duckman the Complete Series DVD box set, $22.95.
Yep. I'm looking at one that's 2064.
Oh, I see that one too.
That might have to happen. Oh, well, you mean, at least do some internet searching and see if it's different on Amazon or something. But yeah.
Is it streaming anywhere that I can watch it?
Watch Cartoon Online. Not an official thing, but
like on YouTube or something.
Well, I use the website watchcartoononline.tv.
Yeah.
And they have a million ads that pop up every time you click the website. But if you have an ad blocker, it's fine. And that's where I watch a lot of my cartoons and anime. And I know they have it on there.
There's some on YouTube. There's like a whole playlist, I guess.
When Comedy Central comes out with their own streaming service, because it's going to be inevitable, I'm pretty sure it'll probably be on there. were
I'm not going to do that. I've got enough streaming services.
They were running. They were running.
1997. That was a good year on Amazon for Duckman.
Yeah. By the way, did we talk about Eternals? Is that something?
We talked about how Black Knight sucks.
What else about Eternals? Who else has been cast in that? Do you know, Gio?
That has a lot of people.
I don't know the actor's name, but I call him the cool guy from Train to Busan.
Yeah.
He's the one that has the black V-neck with the scarf. He's in there. And then I don't know the actor's name, but he's the friend in Atlanta. He's Paperboy in Atlanta.
Paperboy.
Do you have a list of actors, Gio?
You got Angelina Jolie. You got Richard Madden, Kumail Nanjiani, Lauren Ridolph, Brian Tyree Henry, Salma Hayek.
Salma Hayek?
Kid Harington, Gemma Chan, and a whole bunch of other people. I don't know.
I have no interest for this film, honestly. Mainly because I don't know the property. I've never read an Eternals comic, so.
That's kind of why I am interested, because I'm like, cool, they're doing a property I don't know jack shit about. Like, let's see if they can make me interested in them.
It's kind of like how it was with Guardians for a lot of people. Where I'm probably outside of this group of people, who knows, but a lot of people outside the comic book community didn't know anything about Rocket Raccoon or Groot or Star-Lord. And, kind of look at them now. They're massive, massive household names. Huge hit for Disney. So I trust them. I mean, like you said, I'm glad to see them pull. I'm surprised that they got their own movie. I would think they'd be like sideline characters or something. But that opens it up to maybe like a Thunderbolts movie or other like unknown kind of below the radar type characters.
Thunderbolts has to be around the corner somewhere, dude.
Yeah, dude, I'm waiting for it.
I think I'm just tired of superhero films. I really am. So.
Give me more. I'm not done yet.
I keep thinking I'm tired or I'm going to get tired, and then more things happen, and I'm like, God damn it, I'm still here. Like, I'm still interested. I want to watch that. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I'm less excited by other types of movies now than all these like franchise movies, because I guess I'm fed so many of these that I'm like, that's what I'm wanting now. That's what I'm wanting to go and see. And then I look at like releases that are coming out and most of the non like franchise movies. I'm like, why do I care about that? That's not connected to Spider-Man.
All I care about is superhero movies and John Wick.
I'm, you know what? I'm the polar opposite of that right now. I'm actually like, oh, thank God it's not tied into anything else. I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord, A24 put something out. Like, the stuff that interests me more now is like the Midsommars and like Hereditary and like, stuff like that, where I'm just like, oh yes, it's a breath of fresh air.
I need a good demon movie for next Saturday's horror movie show with Jenny.
We watched Ready or Not the other night. That's that hide and seek horror movie.
What is that? Does it have demons in it?
Let's just say you could watch it for that purpose, kind of. We also, for the first time in years, last night we watched This Is the End, the Seth Rogen, James Franco. Oh, I love that movie. That movie's so funny. There's some demons in that one. Yeah, that movie's hilarious. I love that movie.
Just still need to go see Grandma's Boy.
I know. I want to watch that, but I need to see demons and I need to see an occult film, demons and Ouija boards and unseen things and
what about the Evil Dead movies?
I don't like those.
It Chapter 2 is coming up pretty soon, right?
Yeah. 2 weeks. You could do It Follows. I know you've seen it, but you could cover it.
She and I have both seen it. I loved it, but she and I have already both seen it. It was a good movie.
Last Exorcism, I sent you the trailer for that. That's not bad. It's okay. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good Exorcist movie.
I think the only thing with all these superhero movies is that I have to work pretty hard to avoid like trailers and any more outside of like these news announcements. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't care.
I feel that.
See it when I get into theaters for the first time, and it's really, it's not hard, But it does take a lot of work to kind of be like, I don't want to click on this set photo of Salma Hayek, or I don't want to click on this possible rumor that sounds really cool, stuff like that. So it's really just a.
My brother-in-law will always like text me and he'll be like, dude, did you see the new trailer for whatever? And I'm like, no. And he's like, what? Like, it's blah blah blah. And I'm like, I've told him multiple. I'm like, I don't watch them. Yeah. I'll watch the first trailer, the first like full trailer, and after that, I try to avoid as much as I can because I don't want to be spoiled. I want to experience these things in the movie theater and have that full reaction to it. So it also annoys me when like I see multiple trailers for the movies when I go to the movies. Like when I go to a movie theater to watch a movie, if you show me just that first trailer that I've already seen, cool. But once you start showing me those extended looks and the trailers that reveal like some twist that's in the movie, because that happens a lot nowadays.
Yep.
I'm like, God damn it.
Well, this is what I do, right? When the trailers start, that's when I go get my concessions. That's when I go get like the popcorn and the water and all that kind of stuff. I do it during that time so I can miss it. We've
started kind of like, because I love watching trailers. It's just for movies like that, like the big franchise movies, that's when I don't want to see them mostly. And I love seeing trailers for things that I don't know about. But then when it comes to like, you're watching an Avengers movie and they'll show a trailer for something like that shows stuff that I don't want to see, like a Star Wars trailer that shows some spoilers. I'm like, God damn it. But the last couple movies we went to, coincidentally, we wind up missing a lot of the trailers anyway because we wound up being late. And I kid you not, 2 movies ago, I don't remember what we were watching. It was the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. 30 minutes of trailers. Literally 30 minutes of trailers.
It's getting crazy. And the trailers, it's more trailers. The trailers are longer, so you're getting more and more and more in each trailer. So,
and they also have to let you know that the theater serves Coke products, so that takes an extra 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's why. That's when I go. All right, I'll wait in line and I'll get the popcorn and the candy now. At this point.
Ooh, yeah, Drag Me to Hell was good, Joe Chip. I like Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah,
Drag Me to Hell was solid.
Is that a potential good one for me, Luis?
It's a Sam Raimi film.
Yes. Yeah. Jess might not like it if he didn't like
Probably
Evil Dead.
Not. Yeah, you probably
not.
Mm-hmm.
I remember not liking it. I saw it in theaters.
Oh.
Have you seen The Witch?
I believe it's pronounced The Vitch.
The Vitch?
Yeah. The Vitch, yeah.
But Jess, have you seen Howard the Duck?
What I want to see is unseen scary things with demons is what I want to see.
Have
Megan's still watching
Dark Water? There you go. Pirates of Dark Water. Nothing. I just had a DVD here. I want to show off.
I need to see another movie like The Blackcoat's Daughter. That was awesome.
Did you see Winchester yet?
Winchester?
Yeah, the one about the house of Winchester.
No, I visited that house before, but I don't know about it.
Yeah, there's a movie based around.
When you guys do slashers, you give me a call. Slashers are my bag. I love slasher films.
No, I don't like slasher films.
I know. I love slasher films.
I know you do.
Is it called Winchester? But I think you would probably like that movie, Jess.
I'm going to go to my list and see what I can find. God, Blackcoat's Daughter still sticks with me to this day.
I'm just trying to see what I have in my collection, and if Megan were still watching, she could have suggestions because she.
How about Happy Death Day?
That one's really. It's written by Scott Lobdell, number 1.
It's not a demon possession movie or anything like that.
No, I know, but she has to figure out who her killer is after keep getting killed by him, right?
It's Groundhog Day.
Way better than it has any right to be. That is actually a genuinely really good.
And the sequel is not bad either.
Yeah, it's not. They're not bad movies.
I was very surprised with how much I liked the first one. It's basically, and they even say it in the movie. They mention Groundhog Day, I think, throughout the movie. But it's that same idea of like she lives the same day over and over and over again. But it's like if Groundhog Day and the Scream movies had a very amazing child. So yeah, I highly recommend that one. It is a little bit more in the realm of the slashery type of stuff. But it has that sci-fi kick to it as well.
All right, guys, I'm out of here. This has been a pretty long show so far, so I'm taking off.
Okay. Feel
Okay,
better.
Dude.
Later.
Take it easy, man. Your Next is also a good slasher film. I like Your Next.
Yeah, Your Next is good. That one's actually really good. I remember watching that in theaters.
I love the twist midway through Your Next. I'm like, oh, okay, so the roles have been reversed. I love this.
God, I'm just looking at my collection. I don't know what like other ones Jess could watch, because I think he's probably seen them all.
Yeah, he's got a real specific, like, he loves this type of thing, like, and that's it for horror.
Well, you said unseen stuff. Like, what about like Blair Witch and Paranormal Activity?
I loved Paranormal Activity.
I hated Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, see, I loved it because of the unknown, because of the unseen presence and the Ouija board that got burnt on it.
Sinister.
God. Those are the laziest fucking ghosts in the world. Oh, I'm gonna knock over a plant.
Oh, stop.
Sinister's good.
This one's pretty solid. I was very surprised at this one.
Yes,
one,
Jess.
I think you'd probably like this one, Jess, because it does have some of that, a little bit of that unseen horror type thing.
Ooh, okay.
That's the one. That's the one.
Okay.
Yes. I love Sinister.
I don't have anything to write down, so I'm gonna have to.
Sinister. It centers around a writer who he's a real criminal profiling writer, where he writes stories about like real crimes that happen. He moves his family into a house, and the family doesn't know that that's what's going on. That a series of murders have happened in the past, and he soon finds out there is a lot of bad shit going on in the house.
Oh,
it's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never go into, well, I'm a little more accepting now, but for a while I did not go into horror movies with any expectations. And especially one like that, like the way that it looked from the trailers was not, it didn't seem spectacular, like it was going to be anything great. And oh my gosh, like I really like that one.
It has one of my favorite kills that I've seen in a movie in a long time, and it genuinely surprised me. Like, I'm usually pretty immune to that, but that really caught me off guard. And I think Ryley will probably know which one I'm talking about.
It's been a minute, so I probably don't. But I'll probably have to watch it soon.
It involves the front lawn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, Joe Chip agrees with Sinister. Okay, Joe, good. Thank you. I will go up and I will watch the YouTube trailer for it, and then I'll tell Jenny. Excellent. Thank you, guys.
I might just do a video on my favorite horror movie kills.
That's a good idea.
Every year, well, 2 years ago, we did 31 scary movies through the month of October. We watched one scary movie every night. Last year, I tried to do it again, but it was too much for Megan, and she was like, I just can't keep up with it. Like, and I get burnt out. So we only watched about 15 to 20, which is still a decent amount.
That's good.
But this year, I think we're probably going to start in September and just watch whatever. But like, I try to mix it in, you know, the old favorites, like we watch the original Halloween and stuff every year, but mix in some new things. So I'm probably going to be asking you guys for some recommendations, because I can't watch the Babadook 5 fucking times.
I saw that.
The second time was enough for me.
All I can think of now, I always hear that little kid going, the Babadook, the Babadook. And I just want to smack that kid. The Babadook.
My wife always is like, why can't you just be normal? When the kid's like screaming in the back of the car.
I love that movie. I really do.
Solid. It was solid. Like,
yeah,
I watched it the first time and I was like, oh, this is a good movie. And then I watched it the second time and I was like, okay. And then the third time I was like, God damn it. And like, basically every single year we wind up watching it because my wife's like, I just want to watch the Babadook again. I'm like, no, I'm tired of it.
My favorite horror movie kill, because I was just thinking about that, is probably the sleeping bag in Friday the 13th.
This is the best.
That's probably my favorite horror kill.
ETL is Jenny's husband, and he hates paying for movies. Come on, ETL. Crowbar open that wallet once for your wife.
It's a good movie. It's worth it.
Good.
The
Now
sequel's
that
not
I
that
know
good.
it's going to bug ETL, I'm going to do it right now on purpose.
Sequel's not that good, but the first one's really great.
I forgot they made a sequel. Yeah, I never watched it.
Yeah, everybody did. Don't worry about it.
You know, I also, I don't know, Jess watched these, but I am a fan of the Conjuring movies too.
Yeah, we reviewed The Conjuring 1, and I think we have plans to do The Conjuring 2.
The recent Annabelle movie was really fun.
The newest one?
Yeah. Did you watch
it? Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
It was kind of like it was like a horror version of Night at the Museum is the way that I described it. Because it's basically they go into the room with all the stuff and like they have to deal with all of the different like artifacts and stuff like that, like coming in and messing with them. So I had a lot of fun. It wasn't so much like scary, but it was a really fun horror movie. Mm-hmm. Which is a lot. Most of the horror movies I really love are those types of movies. Like Cabin in the Woods is probably my favorite horror movie of all time.
It's a fun one. Have you seen Cabin in the Woods yet, Jess?
I haven't.
That one's really great, especially if y'all are watching so many horror movies and you're familiar with the different tropes and stuff and the different types of horror movies. That movie is going to be fantastic for you. And
don't watch the trailer.
Don't watch the trailer. Go in completely blind. It's better if you do not know anything about it, except for the fact that it's called Cabin in the Woods, so you expect it to be a pretty generic type of movie like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what is it, produced by Joss Whedon and directed by Drew Goddard, who helped Whedon on like Buffy and stuff.
Oh,
so
wow.
it has that same type of flavor to it, except it's a gory horror movie. It's a ton of fun, dude. Like
Thor is in it.
Yeah, he is, and there's some other people from Whedon stuff that are in there.
It's the perfect companion piece to every single horror movie you've ever watched. That's the best. No, I'm serious. That's the best.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah.
It's just great. I absolutely love it. I remember when it came out in the theaters, and it was one of the movies that I sat in while I was working there, and I watched parts of it, and like I think I missed the very beginning. So when I got into it, it was like really going in blind. You have no clue what's going in, and I was like, oh my god! Whenever the twist happens, I'm like, what? So that was fun.
All right. Well, this is a good time. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all the help. That is great. I really appreciate it. This is a time for me to talk about InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts, add 2% to that. There's always, every quarter, an Omniboslive discount code that we will give you the code to whenever we get the code. And if you live in the United States, you make an order over $50 or more, you get free shipping. Fabulous service, customer service, that is. Fabulous packaging, that's InStockTrades.com.
And that's why I can't top Jess whenever I'm the one doing the
exactly. We can never do that jingle.
Yes, Fenner27 has a good point here. InStock Trades, buy your IDW hardcover covers of TMNT because they are all coming back in stock eventually soon. Within the next 6 months, they will all be back in stock. I know number 4 is coming back in November.
Now I wonder if they'll do the same. If IDW will do the same for like Transformers.
People are asking that, yeah.
Because those are even harder to find, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they are. I've heard that. People are really wanting that.
Especially since Omar does such a good job of making everyone want it.
Yeah.
So, A Week in Geekdom, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on YouTube, A Week in Geekdom, talking about geeky stuff, anime, comics, and everything else. A Week in Geekdom.
Here's the last second question from ETL. What is better, TMNT or Transformers? For
TMNT.
Damn.
I haven't read any Transformers, so I would have to say TMNT just by.
I also say TMNT.
Same.
We all say TMNT, ETL.
He would really have to ask Omar, because Omar's the one that's read both of those franchises.
But real men don't go to BotCon, so take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, and Omar's been to BotCon.
It's so cool. I love BotCon.
Comics Guide 101. Monday through Friday, you're making videos. Where can they find you?
Yes, sir. You can find me on Comics Guide 101 on Twitter and on YouTube, where Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., Monday through Thursday, you get a new video. On Friday, it's Q&A night.
Nice. Spider Rye guy. How about you? Are you making videos?
Luis is making videos, so I don't have to. He makes enough for all of us. I mentioned before, I'll be moving into my house in about 3 weeks. And at that point, I'll be doing a grand collection tour, and I'll get back into it because I'm sick of not having my setup and not having my proper place to make videos. And at that point, I'm going to probably get back into making hauls and reviews that you can find on my YouTube channel, Ryleymo, Ryleymo. In the meantime, you'll see me on here as much as I can be.
Excellent. And you can find me, Omnidog, on YouTube, Omnidog's Vault, and on Instagram, Omnidogs_Vault. And you can catch us, the OmniBros, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will be doing hauls, previews, and reads. Everybody's favorite show, as far as I know.
No one cares about Thursdays when I'm on.
Thursday, are we doing the other thing?
Oh, Otaku Bros?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to be this Thursday.
This Thursday will be the manga show where they talk about Otaku Bros stuff.
Thingamajigs.
It's right to left night.
Yeah.
Okay, so on behalf of all the OmniBros and InStockTrades.com, we say to you, thank you to the chat. Thank you to our viewers. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment. And we appreciate you all. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.